Oh, seems it's like it's a sun shower. Anyway, as I walk in the sun shower, I've got a bit of a story. I might turn the camera around actually, so that you get to see the beautiful walk I'm on. It was a very funny night on Sunday. I got to my local club, the Carrington Bowling Club, to see a band. My friend was going to meet me but a bit later on, and I don't mind going to places on my own. I'm used to it. And the place was very crowded. And someone came up to me and I turned around and it was, let's call him Enrico. It was quite funny. Why I'm laughing is because Enrico was Renaldo's mate, and he was my last partner in Port Macquarie that I was with for about 2 years. Not their real names, but so Enrico had, we met on Australia Day. We hadn't seen each other for, I don't know, 8 years or 7 years or something like that. And he'd changed a lot. He'd messaged me and was looking for me in Coolangatta, which was where I left after I went to Port Macquarie. So he was travelling around in our friend's van, like an I-load small thing, just a little work van with a mattress in the back. So Australia Day we meet up. And for the next 7 nights we had dinner together and kissing, and I stayed in his van most of the time. He didn't really fit in Venus. I did stay in there one night when it was raining, but we had a really nice 7 nights. I wasn't on Insta much at the time. But he's changed. He's lost 20 kilos and there were some things about him that were really nice. And he's quite good looking now. We had this really nice connection. Once he left though, and we did a text, a joking text and a flirting kind of fun, and I'd send him a song, and that was when he was on his way home. Once he got back to Port Macquarie, he just got into his life and wasn't calling me, wasn't trying to get to know me any better, and I really wasn't interested in anything more anyway. But one of the texts when he was leaving was because I want to go west. Who knows when I'll be going west, but Western Australia is really deeply calling me. And he said something, can I come, the message, can I come west? And I said, you might be sick of me by then. And he went, oh, at least that's not a no, you might be sick of me. And just a little banter and fun. I mean, I had a really good time. We had lots of fun. But with the lack of communication and, willingness to try and actually get to know me better. So I was done with that. And he does to come back down and stay in Venus, and that was a no. So he didn't like that and hung up basically. So I sent him a big long text saying about how I had not been intimate with anybody since 2020, which was a friend of mine who recently passed away at 50. We spent a couple of months together. And apart from that, there's not been really many men that I've had anything to do with. So it was a big thing for me to be vulnerable and open up and share my life like that. And I told him so. And let's just leave it there. He's like, enjoy yourself or something. And here he is at the local, not realising that it's my local. He went there to see the band, which was what I was there for, the Stag Temple Pilots. I've never seen the Stag Temple Pilots before. They're very good. I really enjoyed them, and I go there to dance and to get into the music. And my friend turned up an hour later or however long later. So he sat with us and my friend and her other friend, and yeah, it was quite pleasant and everything, but it's really quite funny. It was Yeah, we had some laughs and stuff, and at one stage we'd sat down and he'd put his arm around me and we were talking, and then after a while he moved it because there was nothing going to happen. Had been all over each other before, but I didn't do that this time because that's it. It was a thing and now it's not a thing anymore. And I'm not going there at all. I had a short white dress on. You may have seen on my socials. And I think he was a little bit... I told him I don't drink alcohol anymore because we had to drink every single night for 7 nights, which I don't usually do. And I said, no, I don't have any alcohol at all. My body doesn't like it. And he said something about how good my body looked or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it was quite funny because the me that of years ago, 6 or 8 years ago, would have jumped at the chance for anybody who showed an interest in me to just be with them. That's how I got into the relationships I was in, because they showed interest in me. Yeah, but this guy's trying to tell me some things, like I told him about a situation and he's trying to give me advice on what he would do, like thinking that I wanted advice from him. I don't want advice from anyone, not particularly the way he said it. I don't need a man that thinks he can, tell me how to deal with situations. I'm older than him anyway. But it was quite funny because, the me of before would never have given in like that. Jesus, I would have just gone with it. But instead, I put in boundaries, I guess you call them, don't you? And there was nothing more. My friend and I left and she actually said, do you want to come to my house? And I was leaving, so I was going back to Venus and going 3/4 of an hour away to park for the night. So I wasn't going to her house, but she offered that he come to her house and me come to her house. But that didn't happen. And we just left and he stayed there and he didn't even get up to have a hug when I left. You know, I'm very big on hugs. I hugged him when I got there and thought it was funny because it was some situation that I could have been very different. But I just had no interest in him anymore. It's fun while it lasted, but it was just a holiday thing. And now it's not a holiday, and he was having a long weekend, and then he'd be going back to Port Macquarie and his life. So I just took off and lived mine. It also made me realise how much I have actually changed in that short time between when he left after Australia Day, a week after Australia Day, and came back. I just, I've changed some habits. I have stopped drinking alcohol, and I'm very happy about that actually. And I could see things that he had, the way he had been with me was good for him, but not necessarily good for me. We joked around. I kept saying he's hot and sent him a song and things, and I like to have fun and joke around, but if you want to be in my life like that, you don't just disappear because you've gone away. You know, it's days and days and days and you didn't ring, you didn't text, and it's like, well, what's the point? How do you get to know someone if you don't talk to them? So seeing him at a distance with, I was dancing with my friend, so he was on his own a bit, or with her friend actually, another friend, but and he's chatting away. Apparently there to meet someone, but no one ever turned up, so I've got no idea why he was there. It was quite funny. I'm sure he thought when he saw me there may be something happening that night, but nothing could be further from my mind than, yeah, he's a good kisser, but we did that's how we got together, because it was very good. It's something that's important to me. He had ticked a few boxes, but also didn't. I had to keep enjoying my walk. It's beautiful afternoon.